good morning everyone. So I'm on my way to the grocery store, basically the only place that most people can go at this point. So I just got ready and I figured I would get it done fairly quickly in the morning. I generally like to do most of my shopping in the morning if I get up and going anyways, so that's why you're gonna have to excuse the light coming in and out on this video. So I thought I would do a chit chat with you on my way. For those of you that don't know, I know sometimes it gets crazy bumpy on my phone and kind of loud. I drive a diesel Jeep Cherokee, and so it's just, she's a little beast. So you'll just have to deal with that. But hopefully it's not too bad for you guys. So I thought, being it's not too far to the grocery store, I would talk briefly about the ocular migraines that I've been having. Just kind of an overview, because if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I had one just a few days ago. And so I had some people asking me some questions, and also if I know much about it. And honestly, disclaimer, I do not know much about ocular migraines. I just am going to give you my not history, but my, what would I call this? My story of ocular migraines. That sounds so terrible. But anyways, okay, so quick little backstory. For those of you that don't know, I got sick back in 2017 with what we now know as triple PD. And I experienced my first ocular migraine ever when I was in my acute phase, when I was super sick. Well, like I said, we didn't know what I had back then, but that's when I had my first one. Literally terrified the crap out of me. For me personally, what happened was, like, things started closing in all around. I didn't have a headache. I just started seeing splots. And then being the first one was very traumatic because it was my first one. I can't quite recall all the details because I was borderline having a panic attack in the midst of it. But I do remember that my husband was supposed to fly out that day, and he didn't because of what happened to me. That's all I can remember from that situation. So that was back in 2017. Now it is 2020. In the last, I would say, about 7 or 8 months, I have had, I can't remember if it's 4 or 5 more since then. So I had a huge gap in there where I didn't have any, and then out of the blue, it was about 9 something in the evening, relaxing for the night, watching TV with my husband, and all of a sudden I started seeing those splots again, that blurry patches, and then it just like continues to get worse. Well, so anyways, that one as well was just as terrifying as the first one because it had been a couple of years since the first one. I'm panicking. I do have Ativan on hand for moments of panic, and so the very first time and that time as well, I did take Ativan, but it was very similar to the very first one I had. And I'm gonna go, once I just tell you about like the stories of them, then I'll tell you kind of what they were like, because for the most part they were pretty similar every single time for me. So obviously this is because I know ocular migraines can be different for everyone, but this was just kind of how my body has them, I guess. I don't know, words, Monica. So anyways, I had that one, and then after I had the second one, I had another one 2 days later. Now that wasn't awesome because I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? That's not normal, okay? And so I did reach out to the lady that helps me with my vision stuff, and she said, honestly, there's not a ton we can do for that. And then I'm almost parked, and then I can wrap up my story here. And then, excuse me, I just really, a lot of you guys know this about me. I really watch really carefully when I go into parking lots and stuff, just to make sure I'm being as safe as possible. Okay, all right, we're gonna wrap this up. Oh, I should move that too, so it's not so sunny for you guys. Okay, so I where was I? So I had that second one, and they did tell me, they're like, if you have another one so severe and they keep coming, go right to the ER. Obviously this was before quarantine, so they're like, go right to the ER so they can see what's going on with you as you're having it. And but then I didn't have another one after that for quite a while. And so I do have to say too, that third one was not as bad as the first two. It still happened, but I didn't panic and freak as bad as the first two. And then, like I said, I had like one or two more, and then just earlier this week, I had another one. And what happened this time was I was having a slow morning. It was a day where I was just gonna chill and take it easy, and I was in my room just kind of relaxing after I got up and just, having kind of a bum day. And I went out into our living room, and we had gotten snow again. And I have had, just a little backstory, just recently, my light sensitivity has gotten worse lately since we had gotten snow again. It's like my brain couldn't figure that all out. It's like, oh my gosh, it's super bright again. That's a side note. But anyways, so my light sensitivity did get worse. And so just in general. But this day I left my bedroom. I was on the phone with somebody. I was feeling good. Everything was well. And I got off the phone with my friend, and I went into the kitchen to go talk to my husband. And it was super casual. Obviously, it's super bright. It's sunny out. I'm just painting the picture of the scene. And here, all of a sudden, when I looked down, I started seeing the splotchy, blurry, circly things. And I'm like, crap. And I said to my husband, it's happening again. Like, I just knew instantly, now that I've had a good handful of these, how they start. And so I had my husband, like, I went through a thing of like a routine of what I would do. So I'm like, quick, help me. Like, I wasn't panicking, but I knew what to do in that situation. So I knew that I wanted to get my oils because they help chill me out. Because out of all the ones I've had, not all of them have been super severe. So I figure if I can stay as chill as I can right when it starts, maybe it won't be so bad, And so we got my oils, we put the blinds down in my bedroom, I got all nice and cozy in my bed, I took my glasses off, because a lot of you that know me, you know that I can't see hardly anything without my glasses on. My vision is just really blurry. And so if I can take away any straining or whatever, I was gonna do that. But I noticed even with my glasses off that it was so bad, because for me, this is what happens. So I start seeing the little blurry blobs. I don't know what they're called, guys, okay? And then they turn into like a zigzag circle that like go like this all around my vision. And for me, they do happen in both of my eyes. And so I had that going on. And this one, I was like, I don't think this one's gonna be an easy one. And so it's just like, it was like, I thought it was gonna be okay, like a mild one. And so I did decide to take medicine kind of like before, like as it was in the first stages of it, I should say. And then I decided to, brain fart. I'm getting distracted by people around me. You'll have to excuse me. So anyways, I took medicine and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna calm down and ride this out, because for me, every single time, these only last about 30 to 45 minutes, maybe close to an hour, but never more than an hour. And so I'm having all the zigzag stuff, things are closing in, and this one was bad. I started panicking, even though I took the medicine, it hadn't kicked in yet, and my heart just starts racing. Like, mentally, I couldn't handle it. It just, I'm sure some of you are going to be able to understand what I say when I say this, but you know, where like you do all your techniques and things that you know how to do to stay calm in a stressful situation, but then there's a tipping point where like you can't gain control of it. And I was there. I was like, I'm going into a panic attack. And so with half blurry eyes, can't hardly see, I knew my husband was working downstairs in one of our rooms. I don't know why I didn't call him. When you're having a moment like that, you don't think, you just act. I get downstairs somehow because my vision was so poor and I'm panicking, almost in tears, but yet trying to hold the tears back because I don't want to cry, because I know that will only make the stress response worse. And so I go down to my husband and he's on the phone, and I could tell it was an important call. And so I just sat on his lap, and he knew I wasn't good. And so he's rubbing my shoulders. He's doing all the things to help like calm me down, and just being with him helped. And so we wrote it out there. He got off the phone, and then he helped get me back upstairs, and my vision started to slowly come back. And so yeah, that's kind of my ocular migraine stories. So like I said, I've had about, I don't know, 6 or 7 of them now. I only had 2 that weren't so bad, and then the rest of them were pretty terrifying. But I do thank God that they only last for so long. So it was funny, the last one that I had, I actually, when I knew it was coming, I messaged my sister on Facebook and I said, I'm having another ocular migraine right now. Not just so much to tell her, but also as a timestamp of when it started. Because then I could look at my clock and be like, okay, I only have about 15 minutes left of this, and I'm gonna be getting better. So that's kind of my story. Honestly, I don't know why I'm getting them. I do believe light triggered me this last time. Somebody told me chocolate can trigger it, and I have had my fair share of chocolate recently with Easter. And so I'm gonna just kind of keep a journal of them as of now. I'm probably gonna reach out to my doctor though and just get her insight on it if there is any. I don't really know. Like I said, I don't know much about ocular migraines, but like I said, I'm just kind of sharing this because some of you guys were curious about what they're like for me. I don't know what the trigger is 100%, and so yeah. But I suppose people are looking at me like, why am I talking to my phone like in a parking lot? But whatever. So I'm gonna go into the grocery store, get a few things, and head back home. And yeah, so I will talk with you guys soon. Hope you all are doing well. Bye.